Hi everybody. Today we're going to talk about the definition of services, the definition of goods, and their differences. Did you know that every day, without even realizing it, we interact with countless goods that shapes our lives in ways we often overlook? From the clothes we wear to the food we eat, goods are all around us, playing a vital role in our daily routines. But what exactly are goods and how do they differ from one another? Goods are material and physical items that you can purchase. You can touch, you can feel, and see these products before purchasing. They also have physical characteristics such as color, weight, shape, and size. When a buyer purchases a good, ownership passes from the seller to the buyer. And if a customer doesn't like a good or finds a defect, they can return or exchange it for a better one. Now, let's talk about the types of goods. There are four basic types of goods. The first one is private goods. Private goods are excludable and rival, meaning that consumers need to pay for them and there's a limited supply. For example, food and drinks, toys, event tickets, clothing, cars, and television. Then we have common goods. Common goods are non excludable and rival. This means that they are free but limited supply. Governments often manage these natural resources for consumers. For example, fish stocks, timber, mineral deposits, and metal deposits. And we have club goods that are excludable and non-rival. This means that consumers pay for them and they are unlimited in supply. For example, country club memberships, gym memberships, and insurance coverage. Last but not least, we have public goods that are non-excludable and non-rival. This means that they are free for everyone and unlimited in supply. The public sector typically manages public goods. Their examples are street lighting, national defense, public beaches, and mountains. Now, Claudia is going to talk about the definition of services and their types.
Services are the non-physical and intangible activities in the economy that you can't touch, see, or smell. They are often the output of other individuals. For example, if you are buying a ticket for go-to movies, it's not that you are buying the movies. It's you are buying the service of watching that movie. The examples of services, they are such as transport, communications, and banking. The social services are activities a provider may perform to achieve and promote social well-being. It's a non-profit organization may also fund these services such as education, hospitals, fire services, family warehouse, and animal warehouse. The business service are information technology, insurance, marketing, banking, manufacturing, transportation, and legal representation. And the last but not least, the personal service. The personal service are activities a company or individual performs for a commission or fee. They are considering the housekeeping, the dry cleaning, the grocery shopping, the private car service, mobile beauticians, and the event planning.
So now that is clear the definition of goods and services, we are going to talk about a little about the differences between goods and services, inconsistency, and inventory. So first, the inconsistency. The goods. The goods are typically tangible, physical products that are manufactured or produced. They are generally consistent in quality and characteristics. For example, a smartphone manufactured by a company will have consistent features specification and appearances across different units. Now, the services. On the other hand, they are intangible and often involve interactions or performance due to their intangible nature and involvement of human elements. Services may vary in quality and consistency. For instance, the level of customer service experienced at a restaurant can vary depending on the server, time of day, or even the mood of the staff. So, inventory, the goods. Goods can be inventoried. They can be produced in advance and stored for future sale. Manufacturing companies, for example, produce goods in batches and store them in warehouse until they are sold. This allows for better management of supply and demand fluctuations. So, services. Services are typically consumed at the point of delivery and cannot be inventoried in the same way as goods. They are often produced and consumed simultaneously. For instance, A haircut cannot be stored for future use. It must be delivered when the customer requests it. So now, examples. The goods. A car manufactured by a company such as Toyota Corolla is a tangible good with consistent features and characteristics. A laptop produced by a tech company, like a MacBook, is another example of a tangible good that can be inventoried. Services. Haircut services provided by a salon, where the quality and experience may vary depending on the size and the specific visit. Consulting services offered by a management firm, where each consultation may be tailored to specific needs and circumstances of the client, resulting in variation in the service provided.
I'm going to tell you the difference between goods and services focused on two concepts: intangibility and inseparability. First, what is intangibility? Intangibility means or is a quality of not have any physical characteristics or not be perceivable by senses. This leads to the first difference. The first difference is that goods are products or articles that you can perceive using your senses, smell, touch, hear, etc. But a service, you cannot do that. For example, if you buy a mobile phone plan, you are purchasing a service that gives you internet connection. But this service doesn't have a shape, a color, or flavor. And in the other hand, if you buy a new phone, it's a product that you can touch, you can see, hear, and use all your senses to have a whole experience with that. Our next difference between goods and services are related with the concept of inseparability. This concept means that it's difficult to separate a service from the service provider. Also, this concept helps the company or companies to evaluate the level of satisfaction of customer with their employees and rate the quality of their service that they are offering. When we make a purchase of a good, for example, a new suitcase or luggage for a trip, it's a product that once you buy it, you can use it. But if you buy a ticket to travel to any place, it's a whole service that cannot be separated from the providers. In this case, the providers are the airline that is offering you the flights, the pilots who are taking you from one point to another, and the flight attendants that all of them are ensuring that everything is fine on the airplane. This service doesn't end until the flight landed to your destination. With that is a clear example of goods and services related with these two concepts, inseparability and intangibility.